Welcome back to another day flying at Dassu. Every day, flying sailplanes has its special elements. Some you find out at the start of the day, some you discover later, and that's the fun of gliding. Today, because of the great conditions, it will be very busy, and it's also forecast to be quite hot. Busy would be the first constraint, as it meant I would be sharing the glider with my wingman. So instead of a long flight deep into the mountains, we agreed on planning a short sprint that we could both fit into the day. Sometimes you don't need a forecast to see it's going to be a good day, as the number of gliders queuing for a start before 9 a.m. kind of gives a good indication of conditions. Nevertheless, let's take a look at what TopTask says about the day. I could easily spend an hour going into the details of what is shown here, but the highlights are that it is a good day in most regions. That can be seen at a glance with the number in each region showing the potential flight distance in kilometers. To enable my wingman to also use the day, we need to plan a route that fits inside this circle that can be flown in 2 to 3 hours. To plan the route, I'm using WeGlide. It's a great tool to plan and download a route to fly using XSeesaw. Today we're going to do a short triangle via Zell am See, Gerlos and back home. Some of my favorite locations in the Alps, as they are beautiful from above. I've put the links to TopTask and WeGlide in the description. Check those out or ask in the comments if you want to know more. The heat is the next thing that would have a special impact on the day. Temperatures in the low 30s mean the tow plane is going to be operating on the lower end of the performance. Making matters worse was a tailwind that persisted throughout the morning. The end result was that I wasn't able to get an aero tow before the 1 p.m. curfew, so I would need to climb out from the winch.
Yeah, actually ready to go.
My task then was to get around the route as quickly as possible, but also relatively conservatively to ensure the glider comes back in one piece for my wingman to do the same. So, off we go. It's taken about 30 minutes to climb up to around 2,000 meters where I can start to think about starting the task. To give myself the best possible start, I'll go sample the first thermal along the route before heading back to the starting cylinder to begin the task. I'm aiming to start the task at around 1,800 meters AMSL. The rules state I'm allowed to finish up to 1,000 meters below the starting altitude. So starting at 1,800 meters gives me 300 meters above the ground to aim to finish and land. Now I'm just zooming back to the start line to start the task at the right altitude and speed. XE-Saw will start the task automatically as soon as I leave the starting cylinder. The first turn point is 50 kilometers southeast, and in a second I'll update the McCready setting to give a more accurate set of timings. With a McCready 2.0 set, the estimated time to the first turn point is 33 minutes and the overall task should be complete around 14:30. "15 minutes into the task and I'm faced with my first bigger decision. Danger area Huck Filson is on my track and I'm not 100% sure if it is active or not, so I can either go around it to the north or south. The south is the shorter route, but I don't often go north, so I opt to go north to take in some of the incredible sights on that route. I got the camera working again just in time to capture one of my favorite locations. We are just to the east of the Zillertal, where there are some popular ski resorts, and we are climbing above the reservoir near Gerlos.
Gehen wir erst ein Stückchen nach Süden auf die nächste Rütte und queren dann das Zillertal rüber auf die Seite der Zuxer Alpen.
The next turn point is just 7 kilometers away at the top of the Kreuzjoch ski lift in the Zillertal Arena ski resort. I already have enough height to make the final glide, but the turn point is also likely to have a good thermal, so I'll see if I find it and get myself a little height in reserve. I've got 30 kilometers left of this final glide and I've got a lot of height in reserve. Makes for a very enjoyable flight. Ahead on track is the Wilde Kaiser mountain range, which I'm really looking forward to passing. I don't have the height to make it over the top, so I've gone left of track to go around the western end, which allows me to do a bit more sightseeing on the way back in. A word to some of the stats on my XC Soar setup. From this position, the glide ratio required to make the finished cylinder is 18.8, and even while flying above 150 kilometers per hour, I'm getting a glide ratio of 28. So I can afford to keep flying fast. However, one thing I have to keep in mind is that the computer doesn't know about the valley wind that I'm likely to encounter as I get below 500 meters AGL in the valley. From this direction, it's going to be a headwind. It's not likely to be an issue today, but on a skinny final glide, it can change everything in the last few kilometers. If you've enjoyed watching, hit the subscribe button and you'll be first to join my next adventure. The last statistic to mention is on the bottom right side. I have the total climb performance of the last climb. This statistic takes into consideration all parts of the climb, including finding, centering and leaving. There are certainly stronger thermals around than 1.9 meters per second, but I include all my own pilot inefficiencies in the number to set and monitor a realistic McCready. We're almost on top of the Wilde Kaiser. I hope you enjoy the flyby as much as I did. The task is complete in 2 hours 6 minutes with an average speed of 85 kilometers per hour. One thing I learned after I had landed is that even if XC Soar says the task is complete, you still need to close the flight by overflying the starting track for it to be recognized by WeGlide. While I'm under 1,000 subscribers, it does me a huge favor if you like and subscribe, and tell someone else to do so too.
Philipp, darf die Delta 21 Gewicht Strecke kreuzen? Jo,